Hold on, guys. I'm trying to get this where I want it without getting my fingers in the way, but getting it lifted to the right height, or somewhat the right height. I want it right here, but I don't got nothing to hold it right there. Tripod. How do I work this thing? How do I work my tripod? I know I'm being a goof. Damn it. Damn finger. Put it like this then. Will it hold it? Will it stay there? Maybe. Maybe. There, right there. But it's sitting on top of my computer now. It's levitating. Huh! Okay, just don't touch it. Just don't touch it. But now I can't work on the computer. If it's not one thing, it's another. Hello, whoever's live with me. Me and Melissa are going to do a chat, but we're going to do it Facebook Live style, and that way it can be shared out to wherever we wish to choose to do. Hugga bugga. I finally got it to work. So I don't see her just yet. I guess I'll just add. There we go. Just don't forget to turn your phone, baby girl. Woman.
Hey, oh, did it work out now? When I
It
was
worked.
viewing you, it was like sideways for some reason. But now it's showing that it's fine. But I think that we might be sideways for people who are viewing. Let me log on my computer and see if it looks fine.
Well, I end up having to put my tripod on the computer so I
Yeah.
shut it down. Like, Urgh. Not happy with that fact. I just got cut off from the world shutting the computer.
Oh no. Right.
That's what it feels like. I know it's not truth. It just feels
Yeah.
that.
Okay, so when you look at the video, I don't know if maybe when you're done and turn this off, you might be able to switch it, like rotate it, but if you look at the video on the computer, we're we're like vertical. So you and I are like sideways stacked on each other.
Oh, okay. So should
I
we
don't
go
know
the
if
other
it's
way?
maybe. Yeah, let's see. Let me see if I can switch mine.
There we go.
Oh, my thing doesn't go that high. Let's see, I'll just hold it.
Yeah, I'm trying to
So
figure out
that,
where the
okay, it's
happy
like
is.
delayed on my computer.
That's fine. I'm gonna look on mine. Gonna
Yeah,
set this
okay,
in.
there we go.
So we look normal now.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
I'm like stacked on, yeah, you're stacked on above me, but yeah,
Well, maybe I'll come out next to each other when we're done.
yeah.
Hopefully. I
But
know
at
we've
least
been
it
talking
looks
about
better on the
going.
computer.
Okay.
I
I
know
know
I
we've been
was,
talking
hmm
going live together forever. And what I'm gonna do, you can have fun editing this one. Um, I'll just send it to you once I get it downloaded.
okay.
I'll just private message you. And if you want to edit like all this craziness,
I
then
know, right?
go for it.
Cut it down.
To when we actually speak. Oh, I'm still on YouTube. Go home. So, in which case, I'm going to go to the page and see what it looks like. But
Okay.
it's good. I'm not going to
Yeah.
worry about it. So,
Yeah.
we've been talking about doing this forever.
Yes.
So, you're going to take the stage, Miss Lady.
Yeah, I was just writing down like, okay, where do I even begin it? like, because I've worked with you now for 2 years, a little bit over 2 years, right? Because Melody's a little over
Melody was
two.
a
She was a baby. She was 3 months old, I think, when we first started working together.
yeah.
So I guess I'll start at the beginning. I know we've done a live before, but there was like some weird audio on that. So I don't know if you kept that video, but
Oh, I'm
um,
sure it's stuck land somewhere.
so I first started working with Charlotte, who, by the way, I'm just going to preface this by saying she's amazing. She's a miracle worker. Um, I've tried to describe her to friends and it tried to share my testimony, and she's helped with so many things. It's really hard to put it into a short amount of time. Everything is we've worked together for so long, and she's helped me with so many things. So anyway, if you're watching this video just to learn more about Charlotte, just understand that she's just wonderful. If you have seen that movie Green Mile, there's the guy in there who just heals people, and he can, I don't know how he does it. I can't remember if he just touches them or whatever. He just moves their energy, but Charlotte does that. It's amazing. Um, so the first time I heard about Charlotte was from, um, oh gosh, I'm getting a message from work.
I think she first, and she went away. She'll be back. I know she will. 'Cause she's very excited to tell you all the things. And I'm excited for everybody to learn all the things. So I'm gonna add her again. And it's groovy. Technology.
Okay, back.
Whoa.
I kind of feel
Oh
like we
my
should do take two and then we'll just edit all that out and I'll start
god.
again. Okay, so let me start from the top. Charlotte is amazing. If you are watching this video wanting to learn more about what she does, just know that she is a miracle worker. She has helped me with so many things. She's helped me and my kids, even my husband, a couple of times. Um, and she just is amazing. She will help you feel better in so many different ways. The first time I worked with Charlotte, it was she did a live on my cousin Julie's page called The Mystic Vixen. And she just hopped on, and whoever came on with, medical issues, she would hone in on the one thing that was standing out most for that day that they needed to work on, and she would heal that one thing. And I had just had a baby 3 months prior, and I was just a mess, just physically. After you have a baby, everything's just a mess physically. But I was also a mess mentally and spiritually and emotionally. And so I hopped onto that, and I don't even know if I asked for help, if I just had a headache or something, and you were like, "Whoa, you got a lot going on, but let me hone in on the one thing you need." And it was my neck, and you tweaked something with my neck, and my headache went away, and you were like, "You have migraines?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do." And my headache went away, and so then I just thought on it and prayed on it and decided to book a 1 hour session. And I had, during my pregnancy and after, my left hip was just bugging the heck out of me. And I was going to the chiropractor, trying to get it adjusted and taken care of. And I was just in pain a lot. I had postpartum depression, really bad negative self talk. I mean, my whole back and my neck and everything was all messed up. But that day, my hip most was the biggest thing that was bothering me. And so we hopped on to the call, and Charlotte's walking me through all this stuff, and she's asking me about my relationship with my husband and with my mom. And I'm thinking, like, well, what does that have to do with my hip and my back and everything? And so she started working on my left hip, and I just felt like the need to start stretching. And mind you, that my hip had been bothering me for probably like 7 months. And as she's working on my left hip, she's asking me about my husband and our relationship, and
I
and
remember
she's
that.
like, yeah, and she's like, okay, well, I'm working on your left hip and it just popped. It should be feeling better soon. And all of a sudden, my hip, like probably about 5 minutes later, because I think my body is like a little bit delayed. Like she'll pop something and then it might be like 10 minutes later or 30 minutes later or an hour later, my neck, my hip, whatever it is, will pop. So my hip popped and the pain went away. It was completely gone. 7 months I had been dealing with this. It would hurt when I was sitting, when I was walking, everything. And the pain just went away. And then she was like, okay, well, your right hip though, that pain, how that has to do with your husband and your relationship and your communication. And she was like, that emotional issue is causing you pain in your right hip. You're just kind of like out of whack. So she was like, you have homework to do. So she gave me homework to do just with my husband, and it was like talking with each other, and he would write me little notes, and I would make sure to hug him and kiss him when he left for work every day. And it was like giving me homework to do to strengthen that relationship. And slowly that hip pain went away too. And then she just did like a whole body scan and worked her way up. My I think we went up to my neck at that point, and she was like, well, let's talk about your relationship with your mom. And we went through all of this stuff, and my neck pain went away once I healed the emotional pain. And then she was like, you have a lot of chatter going on in your head and a lot of like negative self-talk, right? And I'm like, yeah, like my entire life. She's like, okay, well, we're going to get rid of that right now. And she just walked me through, like, I don't even remember what you said. I have it recorded. That's another thing. If you do a call with Charlotte, she'll record it so you can listen to it later. That first one I have listened to, if like hip pain crept back up or neck pain, I would listen to it again and it would go away. So it has like lasting effects, which is really nice. But I recently tried listening to it, and it was so long ago, and we've healed so much um, in the 2 years that I've been working with Charlotte. It was hard for me to listen to that because I'm in such a completely different space, in a completely different place than I was then. I've healed so
But
much and let so much go.
it's also showed you how much you've evolved and how much you
Yes.
have grown.
Yeah.
Because sometimes in our journey, we don't realize
Mhm.
what we really came out of because
Yes.
we're so in it. And then
Mhm.
as we start transitioning, it's just a new norm. But to
Mhm.
listen to something just 2 years ago, but seeing the complete transformation in that
Totally.
time
Totally.
is very rock your world for one,
Yeah.
of like, but like you said, it was hard to listen to because you can't, because you're no longer in that place to understand that emotion because you've
Mhm.
evolved from those emotions and into a different space now.
Mhm. Yeah.
So when you messaged me about listening to that call, I'm like, oh my God, I was a wreck. And I'm like,
Yeah.
because people don't see the wreck on the
Yeah.
outside, don't mean that people aren't totally wrecked on the inside.
Totally. Totally. And although I know that call would have worked and I could have it would have probably helped my hip pain still. I just couldn't even go there. And so instead I texted Charlotte and I was like, can you just help me with my hip pain right now? Because I do like this monthly deal with Charlotte that's pretty awesome. And anyway, she probably will explain that more. But so back to the head chatter and the negative self-talk. She just walked me through this whole thing. She was just like, we're letting it all go, you know, all the negativity, we're letting it go back down to the earth. Just let it drain through your body, through your toes, back down to the earth. And then she filled it up with positivity, everything with positivity. And I mean, I have had negative self-talk creep back up since then, but I can nip it in the bud right away, and it's not constant. And if I've needed to, I would have listened to that first call. I haven't needed to for negative self-talk, gosh, like a year and a half maybe. I don't even know. It's been a long time. I haven't had that creeping back up. If I do have any kind of weird ego pop up and a negative self-talk, I'm just like, oh, shut it, ego. I can recognize it quicker now, which I think is a huge testament to how Charlotte has helped me heal, and being able to recognize when that stuff comes up. That's not me. That's not spirit. That's not from source. That's my ego. That's something else creeping back up, coming back around. But I can recognize it now and release it and let it go. I think that was everything on the first call. And then I decided to do like Charlotte's monthly deal, where we would have a call every week, an hour long call. But then I could also text her with things throughout the week. And that was like, I would text her if my daughter had a runny nose or a fever, or if I had a headache or sore. Oh gosh, since COVID started, I've been like texting Charlotte, oh, my throat hurts. Can you just clear it? And literally, you guys, half hour max, and my throat would be gone. Or like I would text her the night before falling asleep, like something feels weird in the back of my nose, like I'm having nasal drip. Can you clear that? And I'd wake up in the morning and feel totally fine. It's just, she has a real amazing and rare gift to feel what you're going through, feel your pain, pinpoint it, and clear it and move the energy out. There have been times when I'm like, okay, I have this gnarly headache going on. It feels like a tension headache. Can you help me clear it? And she's like, okay, well, whatever's going on is actually more in depth. I can't clear it just with a text. We're going to have to do, like a power hour session. And so we do. And we have a call. And there was one over this summer. The details are kind of personal. I don't want to get into that, but it was with a relationship with someone and a family member. And she helped me go through all of that past hurts, generational hurts, like past life hurts. And she helped me heal it all, let it go. We did a whole cord removal. It wasn't just cord cutting. We pulled those cords out by the roots. And she filled it all up with goodness and positivity and sealed it off. And I can't tell you how good that felt and how healing that was. Yes, in the same day, the issue that was happening with that person, we resolved it.
Within an hour of our call.
Yeah, it's huge. And we had been going back and forth for like a week and a half, and it was like this whole big fight thing. Our whole lives, we had been fighting and arguing and bickering over things. And we did this whole removal and clearing, and he and I resolved it. We came to a good space after that, which was really fantastic.
I could feel your excitement through the text of like,
Yeah.
oh my God. Like, yeah. They reached out to me and this is what was said. OMG.
Yes. Right.
And I could feel your excitement even through the text of like, finally, some relief.
Right. Some healing. It was really good. Let's see. I wrote some other things down. The monthly deal. Oh, you helped me with like getting my business going, my private practice, my private speech therapy thing. Let's see. Oh, I have my entire life had irregular periods, horrible cramps. For a long time, when I stopped taking birth control, my periods were very long, like 8 days sometimes, and very heavy. Um, I would have to take iron pills um, like every single day of my period for that whole 8 days because I was so anemic. Um, the second, third day of my period, it was just a lot of times I would lay in bed. I was just in a lot of pain. Leading up to my period, I always had horrible PMS. Like, it was just kind of a jerky person to be around.
Well, I
um,
could tell when it was coming just because you're like, okay, my stomach's cramping, I'm nauseous, I got a migraine. I
mhm.
mean, all the physical issues are
Yeah.
like in here. And I I don't remember how that session came about, but it was like you were like, okay, I want to do all this, and I was like, yeah, no, we need to work on
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
And you were like,
You,
oh yeah.
yeah, it was like, no, because I had been texting you about the headaches and the nausea before my period would come. And because actually my PMS, like the anger, irritability, wasn't nearly as bad as it used to be. Because I think that probably healed from healing other things. But I
Right.
was having really bad nausea and really bad migraines before my periods. And you had texted me and you were like, okay, well, we need to work on this. There's something going on that you need to clear. And we set up a call. And yes, I was trying to call for something else to work on something else. And you were like, no, we got to work on clearing this first and foremost. That's like something that keeps coming up that you need to heal. And so, yeah, Charlotte, she walked me through that whole, and it was like a weird generational curse thing that we had cleared. And it was just, you guys, like a weird family thing from a dead family member who I never have even met. And it was just like something that I had inherited. And we cleared it, and she cleared it and healed it. You guys, seriously, my periods are 4, 5 days now. Um, my first day is really light. Second day is like heavy-ish, and then days 3, 4, and 5 super light. I don't have any nausea. I don't have any headaches before my period comes. Like, even last cycle, I was like, oh, it's the new moon. I should be starting soon. And then, like, the next day I started. Literally before, I would be like, okay, I'm really irritable. I have a headache. I have a stomach ache. Gotta be starting my period soon. Like, that was my cue that I was going to be starting soon. Last cycle, it would just started. And I was like, oh, okay. Cramps, almost non existent. You guys, my lower back, my lower abdomen would just kill. I had to take ibuprofen, all kinds of things. Totally fine. I have, I, who is it? Jamise. I think her name's Jamise. She's got another channel
Yeah.
on Facebook, the Moon Circle. She had posted a video and she was like, if your cycle isn't like juicy and good and wonderful and you love your cycle, you need to like check in with what's going on with your womb. And she said that, and I was like, I'm not quite at the point where I'm loving my cycle, but I'm not hating it.
But
I
that's a
feel
big difference.
it's a
That's a
huge
big difference,
difference.
not hating it
It's a huge
and
difference.
not having all the extra.
Yeah.
Because, okay, yeah, it can be painful, but it shouldn't be life debilitating.
hmm And it was. And I would have to lay down. I'd have to get a heat pack, and like, yeah, life kind of stopped. Like, I've even been known to take a day off of work when I need, when it was really bad. Um, Now I've been working from home, so well, last spring before we healed this, I would just kind of like change my schedule and I would lay down. My husband would have to watch the kids, and but now I feel like life doesn't stop when my cycle comes because we've been able to heal that, which is
I
huge.
know
That's a big deal.
the second month, I know you text me, day 2, and I'm hiking.
Right? Yeah.
Look at me. I'm not
Yeah.
in bed. I'm
Yeah.
hiking the
Right.
mountains here.
Right.
And
So that would have been unheard of before. I would have
Right.
had to honestly, stay close to the bathroom because it was that heavy.
Yeah. But I know there
Yeah,
was
so
another month that you were with. You were somewhere else. You went and visited somebody, but you were doing all kinds of landscaping work and
yeah.
digging and doing and a lot of physical work, but it didn't
Hmm.
take you out at
No,
all.
I
And
didn't
your
have to
cycle
take
ended up
iron.
showing up. Well, it ended up showing up during that time that
Hmm.
you continued on what you were doing with the physical
Yeah,
activities without the tremendous amount of pain.
right.
The tremendous
Yeah,
amount of pain.
yeah, tremendous. And just like really draining.
Right
Like
there,
the
that's like,
anemia was horrible. But
oh
I
yeah,
never thought,
anemia is horrible.
yeah, I never thought that my cycle could be that. I always thought that that's just how it was for women, and that's how it should be. It's not. If your cycle is like that, it shall not be that way. Call Charlotte. You have something you need to clear.
Yeah, I've added that to the schedule specifically for PMS and female problems and clearing them, and it's a set
Yeah,
rate, time, and everything. And because I know when they book that, what exactly I'm working on. Like that's what
yeah,
they're looking for. Because I'm finding it more and more,
yeah,
and when of just
yeah.
living with the the dread and the
Right,
life altering. My life's got to stop for days when it shouldn't be like that.
right.
It was never intended to be like that. It is a shedding, yes, of the old,
Mhm,
um, to birth the new. That's
mhm.
what it's intended for. It should not be dire straits to shed what
Yeah,
no longer serves, kind of
right.
deal. So, um, yeah, you've done the monthly for a while, and what the monthly consists of, I'll just give a quick rundown because she keeps
Can
referring to
you
it.
mute your computer though? We're getting a little bit of audio feedback. It's like a loop from your computer, I think.
My computer's not on.
Oh,
Like, not. I just had it leaned against it.
oh. And all of a sudden could hear like
Feedback.
the video from Facebook was like on a
Huh.
delay. You could hear it in the background.
Uh, no, I don't got no. I mean, I
Okay,
got. I'll just go to home. That make it. That make it good.
there you go. The
The
monthly
monthly
thing.
consists
Hmm.
um, it's just basically text messaging or Facebook Messenger, one of the two. It's just all text messaging. There's no phone calls or nothing. But it was designed to help with illnesses because I know at one point your little girl's, her one daughter, always had some kind of sinus something going on or some kind of cough or something. So taking her to the doctor and all the co-pays and all the things, just like, oh, she's got a cough, take her home. Um, but I, but when we were working with that, was clearing it. She said she only coughed for 2 days versus 3 weeks.
Hmm.
Um, so that's what started it was like handling the medical thing. Um, like colds and stuff that arise, just clearing out the extra junk. And then um, we've added shots, which is
Hmm.
an energy shot. And of course, the girls get sleepy shots. So they go night night. And Mama gets an energy boost to get on with the day to
Hmm.
finish. But at times, you've also gotten a confidence shot just because, you're trying to do stuff and not just unsteady ground or new ground. So give me some confidence, please.
Hmm.
And then, of course, I think it was one day, can you give me a double shot of energy with a side of peace? And I thought, oh, you want a mega dose? Gotcha.
Hmm.
Um,
Some days
I
there's
really
just like
had
that.
to, she's like, I need double energy with a side of peace. And I was like, woo, she's in a mood today. Everybody's flexing. That's okay because we all have those days.
Hmm.
But she has me on the text message of, I'm just gonna text her, and then I don't know how fast it got to you on the mega shot that
No,
evening. I don't know.
I don't know. I got through the day and it was all good, so it must have.
It usually I get it, and sometimes I don't hear at all from her. So then I'm like, well, did she get it? Like,
Yeah.
but to me, yeah, she did because she's too busy now to talk to me.
Yeah. Yeah. No, the energy shots I usually feel like within 5 minutes.
Yeah, they're that quick.
Hmm.
And
And peace
sometimes I don't
shots
even
too. Hmm.
the pea shots.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, because sometimes I get an opportunity to text her right back, and sometimes I don't. But then she's
Hmm.
like, I don't know if you viewed the message or not, but I got it
Hmm.
within 5 of requesting it from you. And I was like, some I view, some I don't. But obviously, we're so connected. You just pull what you need,
Hmm.
kind of
Yeah,
thing.
that's definitely happened before too. Yeah.
Because there's sometimes I haven't seen it. I'm asleep.
Hmm.
Um, so with my messaging, I'm like, yeah, as long as I'm awake, I'll
Right.
respond to you. But I silence my phone to sleep because that's very important
Hmm.
to rejuvenate
Yeah.
the body. So yeah, she's taken advantage of the one-offs,
Hmm.
the monthly. Oh, and when we were working on the PMS stuff, she wanted me to heal this knot in her forehead.
Yeah. I forgot all about that because it's gone.
I know. So she goes to the doctor because she's frustrated with it,
Oh
and he
gosh.
does a
Yeah.
CAT scan. Doesn't see anything wrong with her, but says the sinuses are impacted. And I said, okay, I'm gonna send you a sample of butter, and that's a product line I have. So
Hmm.
I sent her towards, which is basically about sinuses, and she got it, and she applied it, and she's like, wow, it doesn't hurt as bad initially. After applying it, it felt different, and applied it a second time, and wasn't it gone after the second or third application of the butter? Like,
Hmm.
even the physical knot was gone, but
Hmm.
the pain was completely gone too.
Hmm.
So the physical
And
part,
that was something that had been bothering me since January. I went to the doctor in March before everything closed down for COVID, and he was like, "Well, I don't see anything. I can't really help you." And it felt like a bruise on my head, like I would touch it and it just hurt. And then so finally in July, I went back, I emailed my doctor and I was like, "This shouldn't feel this way. This is not normal." And then that's when they sent me for the CAT scan. And it just showed, yeah, impacted sinuses, chronic sinus blockages or something like that. I don't know. But they were like, well, we can't really, you can take ibuprofen. We can't really do anything for you. Um, and yeah, once I started using the cream, it doesn't hurt at all anymore. I can touch it without any pain at all.
well, I know I tapped into it several times and was like, it's just packed. It's just
Hmm.
impacted. It's just,
Yeah. You've done a lot of sinus clearing for me, like clearing it
yeah,
all.
since the beginning of working with each other.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. But I was like, all I'm getting is it's just tight and packed and it hurts,
Hmm.
yes, but there's nothing that's really like, okay, I can go in and pull it out.
Hmm.
It's full.
Hmm.
But the butter, and the reason the butter was created is because some people want instant fix. It does it. The other side is there's some things that medicine, pills, don't always help with. And like in your situation, it was an impacted sinus cavity, and they're like, okay, well, you can take ibuprofen. Well, ibuprofen doesn't help the
Hmm.
sinus cavity
Hmm.
specifically. It goes all through your bloodstream, through your liver, stomach, all the things.
Hmm.
And then you just applied the butter 2, 3 times, and then it's like gone.
Hmm.
So it's a direct
I use
fix.
that. Yeah, I use that butter for my daughter. She's 2 and she has growing pains a lot. She's also teething, and I've used it on her cheeks. I put it on her legs. Like she'll wake up in the middle of the night wanting leg massages. So I just go and get that butter and put it on her legs. She falls right back to sleep. And in the past, I've had to give her Tylenol or something, and it just doesn't. I mean, you don't want to give your kids that much. You want to limit that as much as possible. And it, a lot of times doesn't really even work. And she would still wake up crying, and so I just used the butter on her legs, and she's good to go. Now, since she's been having growing pains for like a couple weeks, I just massage her legs right before bed with that. Put it on her cheeks because she's getting her last 2 molars.
And
Yeah.
you can rub it in your fingers to make it a liquid and rub it inside her gums as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything in it is can be ingested.
Mm-hmm. I need to try that
So
one. That'll probably help her.
um, one of my friends' clients, she uses Libra and Virgo, and she has like a gum disease,
Mm-hmm.
and she rubs it on her gums, just liquefy it, and then rubs it on her gums, and it's like, oh, relief.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's the gums itself, so the pressure of the teeth clamping hurts a lot. So
Mm-hmm.
I get it. She rubs it inside her mouth. So they're like, yo, dude, you can put it inside. I've done it. I had an
Mm-hmm.
abscessed tooth. I was all like,
Mm-hmm.
the doors have been closed with the COVID, and of course,
Right.
that's when your teeth want to act up, and like your case, your sinuses want to act crazy, and
Mm-hmm.
you get in to do elective things.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so yeah, we've done a lot in the last two
We have.
years because I know
We
one
have.
part in the monthly. There was a statement you made to me. Some people know, some people don't, that you were married prior and he passed away.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we've done a lot of work on that. Oh gosh, I didn't even, God, that, yeah. I was like, what else did we have to talk about? Like, we kind of covered everything, right? That was huge. I had a lot of issues with grief, anxiety, depression around losing my first husband. Yeah,
Yeah,
we've healed a lot with his death.
I remember after one particular session of like, I have spent years in therapy, and 1 hour with you, we have cleared more than I
Mm-hmm.
had in all the years of grief
Yeah,
therapy.
yeah,
And it's mind blowing.
yeah. He died 11 years ago.
And I don't know
12 this year. Mm-hmm.
how many years you spent in therapy, but I know you told me it was a significant amount, and it was like,
Mm-hmm.
damn. And in 1 hour, you just got it gone. And
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah. I think I even made a Facebook
that,
post after that, like clearing all kinds of stuff is with Charlotte in 1 hour is like years worth of therapy, and it's actually gone. Like this year, so his birthday is June 28th, and this is the first year his birthday came around where I wasn't horribly sad. You know, it was like, oh, it's his birthday. It was actually like a happy event. I have a completely different understanding now of spirit and our spirits and where they go after we die. And, you know, people texted me on his birthday and they're like, oh, I'm thinking about you. And they had this sad energy still. I don't feel that anymore. Granted, grief, everyone's grief, it's your own process and it is a journey. And
and it's very personal.
I just, I feel like I've come through it. I talk to him all the time.
Mhm.
And I can hear him and I can have those conversations with his spirit. And because Charlotte, I mean, we worked on opening a lot of my clairs. I mean, there was one time, weren't we, when you were like, okay, we're draining your sinuses, but you're going to have some things coming up with your ear. It's clearing. You're going to start being able to hear a lot more. Because we've even delved into that realm. Gosh, we've worked on a lot. See what I mean? It's hard to put it all down into just a short amount of time, everything we worked on.
But
Um,
it's kind of guided, and as we're working on one thing, and I hear Otto, and I hear a lot of different ways I get information, and then sometimes I'm just in pure channel mode.
mhm,
But as we go through it, I'm getting the information to go through this road. But
mhm.
at the other end is beautification.
Yeah, and healing. And
A lot.
if you're in grief, and if you are out there listening to this and watching this, Know that you can heal, and it is okay to heal from grief, and it is your right to heal from grief. It is your right as a human, as a spiritual being living this human experience. It is your right to experience joy as often as possible. That's your purpose here, to feel joy.
even
And if you are
after.
experiencing grief, you can move through that, and it is okay to move through that, and you need to move through that. I think our society so often expects people, widows, widowers, people who've lost children, and if you've lost anyone, I mean, everyone has experienced grief. Our society wants you to hold on to that, and you don't have to. It's okay to move through your grief and process it in a healthy way.
And it's okay
And
to be sad when it's time to be
it
sad.
is
And
okay to
it's
be sad.
okay to have
Yes,
flare ups. And it's okay to be angry. And it's okay in every
absolutely.
process. You're perfectly okay where you're at in the process because
Absolutely.
society says, oh, within the first year you should be past this. But no,
Hmm.
no. What society says in so many things is not true.
Yes,
The truth is everybody's an individual and everybody processes at a different rate. And
absolutely.
in your process,
Hmm.
because I know I spoke to somebody yesterday and they were just like, I keep crying. And I'm like, okay, so what is the underlying emotion within the tears? Because
Hmm.
you're trying to find an exit for the emotion you're feeling. So cry to cry, but find out why on the
Hmm.
bottom line.
Hmm.
And then that'll help you process that emotion because a lot of people want to, oh, emotion's such a thing, but society tells us not to feel.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
that's incorrect. That is totally incorrect because how are we
yeah,
going to ever get to the other side if we don't walk through it? And like you
right.
said, walking through the grief, you can have another side. You
Hmm.
can get beyond the sad and sorrow.
Hmm. Yeah. And mine was a 10-year process. And I really feel like I didn't heal all of that until I started working with you. I mean, I did EMDR, which is fantastic to help with the PTSD. But there was so much surrounding his death that I hadn't healed, and I didn't move through it. And it was coming out as anger for other things. And you were like, well, have you expressed your anger to him for dying? Write a FU letter and get your anger out to him. And that's okay too. It's okay. You need to process that anger and get it out and move through it. And I hadn't ever written an angry letter or told him that I was angry that he died. Not like it was his fault, but
No.
it just doesn't. Sometimes those emotions don't make sense, and that's okay that you're feeling them. You just got to process it. And I'm really thankful that you have helped me process those things,
Yeah.
because that anger was coming out, spilling out into the rest of my life with my family, my kids, and my current husband, and that's not
Mm-mm,
healthy.
mm-mm.
So, but yeah.
To to even acknowledge that you were angry at him for dying was wow.
Yeah, it was
But do
hard.
I have the right to? Well, why don't you have the right? I mean,
Hmm.
I guess I'm different because your feelings are yours
Hmm.
and they're valid no matter if anybody agrees or disagrees with your feelings because they're yours. They live
Yeah.
in you, period. And once you honor your feelings in the situation, truly self, and it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. It
Hmm.
really doesn't. It doesn't matter what society says. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks. You are truly feeling this, so you need to validate how you're truly feeling, because
Hmm.
that's when you're able to move past it.
Hmm. Right.
When you validate, when you, because I don't know, I call it break up with the bullshit. That it, you have to look at self, but you have to be willing to acknowledge it, but accept it, walk through it, and then release it.
Hmm.
So it is quite a journey on healing.
Yeah.
and not an easy journey, not with hard subjects. I mean, death
Mhm.
is a pretty hard subject
Mhm.
because it rips part of your soul out with you.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
when your soul's ripped out, it's how do I put the pieces back together? And
Yeah.
like you said, PSP, P, yeah, you say it.
PTSD.
There you go. 'Cause I just can't get it out. I know the letters, but it's just geek, 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 geek. So, but with some of the work I do, I bring a lot of laughter into,
Mhm.
just because, man, crap gets heavy.
Mhm.
And sometimes we just need to have, I know we've had a few sessions like towards the end that we've just literally been, I want to say drunk in the Holy Spirit kind of deal, because we just laugh, but it is
Mhm.
a good belly laugh that is
Mhm.
healing,
Yes.
because laughter heals too.
Mhm.
And if you can't laugh, then what's life about anyways? I mean, so many of us go through the function of get up, get dressed, go to work, do our job, come home, sit on the couch, watch TV, go to bed, eat dinner, go to bed, get up, watch TV, like robots. But we're
Mhm.
never meant to be robots.
Mhm.
That's why we have all these feelings that society says, no, you're not supposed to have, because society wants robots, and we're not. So I'm glad you were
Right.
able to jump on today with me.
Yeah, this
This
was
was,
good. It felt good. I got some tingles as we were talking, so I feel like this is going to help somebody out there, you know? If it
yeah,
reaches just one person and resonates with one person, that's worth it.
I got the people bumps from head to toe at one
Mhm.
point that I was like, ooh boy,
Mhm.
that's not something.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm gonna finish this out. I'm gonna say bye. Um, and I hope if you're interested, you can book time with me, of course. Reach out to me. I'm human too. I'm not some out of touch person. I'm human too. So I get it. So, all right. We'll talk later.
All right. Bye.
Bye.